Chris Eubank Jr. gets his revenge over Liam Smith over the holiday weekend last Saturday in a 10-round TKO victory that looked like Liam Smith was a shell of himself. He looked old. And he did come out and say that he had a 42-pound weight cut, which is huge, which is very hard to make. I mean, he got heavy. He got real heavy if that's what he had to do to make weight. He was also dealing with injuries throughout camp, and that's just, that could be partly father time as well, and partially being overweight like he said he was. And he also got injured during the fight. He hurt his ankle, which messed up with his mobility throughout the fight, and that was very visible. So it was congratulations to Chris Eubank on the victory. He looked good, but as far as a trilogy, I don't want to see it at 160 if there's going to be one, being that Liam has so much problems making it down to 160. Maybe they do it at 168, or maybe Liam starts thinking of hanging the gloves up. But as far as Chris Eubank, does he deserve a title shot? Some say he does, some say he don't. There's some heavy hitters there at 160, and there's definitely some things I would like to see him do before he actually gets that opportunity. But with the current WBO Janibek Alam Kanuli, IBF Vincenzo Gualtieri, WBA Arislandi Lara, and WBC Jamal Charlo, out of all of those champions, those are current champions, Jamal Charlo is probably going to be stripped of his belt for the inactivity he has been for the past year and a half, 2 years going on now. And the only fight that I've even heard of that he might even be having is the fact that Canelo might have him in this 3-fight deal after he fights his brother Jermell Charlo. He might be going after him, very similar to what Terrence Crawford is saying as well. But other than that, he doesn't have anything going on. And I'm hearing bad things about Jamal. You're hearing he's got the wrong people around him. Every time you see him in interviews, he's slurring his words. He's got caught nodding off, and that's never good, if you guys know what that means. So yeah, the WBC might, for at 160, very well might be vacant. And there's also Danny Garcia at 160. So maybe Chris Eubank and Danny Garcia go for the WBC vacant belt once they strip it from Jamal, but putting them in the ring with Janibek or Vincenzo or Arislandi now after that performance, and nothing about his performance, nothing about Chris Eubank's performance. He did great. He looked good. He looked ready. But it was just the level of competition he was fighting. And Chris Liam, I mean, he didn't look good. He looked old, and like he said himself, he was out of shape, coming down from 42 pounds just to make weight. The injuries, he wasn't ready, and the better man won the fight. But I'm not exactly sure if that permits him a title shot immediately. But if it's for the vacant after Jamal probably gets stripped of that, and we'll find somebody to fight for that. And if they do find somebody to fight for that, and it is Chris Eubank, I hope it's against Danny Garcia. Otherwise, Chris Eubank might be a WBC champion. But also out there, what happened over the weekend was that his trainer, Bomac, also Terrence Crawford's trainer, Brian Bomac, was arrested for gun charges at the Manchester airport, and he has his next court date is October 9th. So he is being held in jail overseas for gun possession at the airport right now. And that can't be too good because, they are pretty strict on their gun laws over there. So, keep them up in your spirits. I'll keep you guys updated. It's never good when somebody gets locked down, but you got to wonder, what was he thinking in bringing a firearm overseas, or even trying to carry it through the airport? Yeah, you got to wonder, what was he thinking? If he's thinking safety, or I don't know what lifestyle he's living or whatever, but I mean, come on. It's not looking good. So and due to the recent success of Terrence Crawford, this can't be good for his camp as well. Especially with the recent fight that's been announced, and I spoke on this in my other recent podcast. It's official. Shakur Stevenson will be fighting Frank Martin. So we're gonna see how that goes. Will Bomac be there to help train Shakur, or will he end up getting some time? If I'm correct, there's like a minimum of 5 years or something like that over there. So we'll see how this plays out. We'll see if lawyers can't come through and get him and bring Bomac back home. But other than that, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure to check out Leo World News for your latest hip-hop blogs and sports blogs. And do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Appreciate y'all. I'm out.